So I'm going to go through a Psoas release. Your psoas is one of the longest muscles in the body, and it's the only muscle that connects your legs to your spine. It's very deep in, and it's where a lot of people can hold a lot of tension. It is not a pelvic floor muscle, but it goes through the pelvic floor area. And when you hold a lot of tension there, it can just create a lot of issues in the hip and low back area. So a release is not a stretch, it's not strengthening, it's just to calm the muscle down. And the psoas is a muscle that can hold a lot of tension, not just physically, but also from emotional things. So like trauma and just years of holding and tension, the psoas tends to hold that in it, and it's a muscle that is very hard to get to. It's not easily massaged. So the first step of doing a psoas release is to just lay flat on the floor and just feel what you feel. And just observe where you're coming in contact with the floor and where you notice more space. So then you're going to take just a standard yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you could use a rolled up yoga mat. And you're going to place it under your sacrum / low back. So right about here. Now I'm looking, I always set this up wrong. You should make sure you have some space at the top of your mat. So I'm just going to inch down. So, because you're going to slowly roll off the block. So I get it about completely under me. None of it is sticking out on the end. And you're going to lay here for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not going to do 2 or 3 minutes for the video, but it's good to have a timer. And after 2 or 3 minutes, you're just going to wiggle your body. You're not going to move the block, but you wiggle your body up. And breathe for another minute. And after the next minute, you wiggle your body up. And you'll notice the block starting to tip a little. That's fine and normal. And you're just in between, you're just breathing. Now, as you do a psoas release, you very rarely will someone report they actually feel a stretch. It doesn't feel like a stretch or a release. And that's why you need to do that before, and then we're going to do an after. So I'm inching off the block minute by minute. So this usually should take at least 5 minutes to do. And then you're inching off some more. This is probably my last one. I would stay here for a minute, and then I would come down pretty much off of it, stay there for a minute, and then finally move the block out of the way, and you're going to lay on the floor again. The goal is that the sign that it was a successful release and some change occurred is that you feel like you're in more contact with the floor. Or your body just feels more relaxed on the floor. There's a lot of ways people report it, but usually it's just like I feel more in contact or more relaxed or heavier. And there's less tension in this area when you're laying down. So that is a psoas release. And then to get out of it, to not like flare it up again, always make sure you side roll and are pushing up. You don't going into sitting up. All right, that's a psoas release.